Fine motor skills involve the small muscles in the body that enable movement in the fingers, feet and toes and face, including the mouth and eyes. Developing fine motor control helps us gain coordination between these muscles, for example, hand-eye coordination. Fine motor skills are a part of whole body physicality. They empower children to navigate the world with confidence and independence. It's important that we understand fine motor control and fine motor skills don't happen separately to the rest of physicality, so they are actually very dependent on gross motor development as well, for example. And in terms of thinking about children and their whole body development, how do you promote that in your practice?
I just think about what I see children do at the centre every day, whether it's getting the fire ready and kind of chopping up food and putting on the fire to cook, or whether they're gardening and sort of digging down or troweling down into the soil and taking out the seeds or taking out the plug of the plant and planting that. They don't separate out their bodies when they're doing it. It actually is all happening at the same time.
I think it's really interesting actually to think about physical development being as that holistic approach to learning and development. So not looking into solely about fine and gross, because they are so intertwined, but also with the rest of all of their learning and development. You know, physical development is a real gateway to learning and development in all areas of child development. Beyond the early years foundation stage, you know, it's really thinking about actually that their brain is passing on messages to their body, and the relationship between those two will then give children the opportunity to seek what they desire.
So let's have a think about purposeful tasks and play.
I think one of the key things for us at our settings is making time in our routines to allow the day-to-day activities like putting on coats and doing up zips and doing our own shoes and getting our waterproofs on a rainy day have a huge impact on making every task purposeful. So we're creating learning opportunities and allowing learning opportunities within what could be seen as quite mundane tasks. Meal times, for example, we make sure that children have access to self-service.
I'm also thinking about those everyday experiences in our provision, like, you know, malleable stuff and foam and clay, and the idea that children come to that using those fine motor skills of pinching and stretching and rolling and pulling. And they will naturally provide those playful experiences, will naturally provide children opportunities to develop those fine motor skills.
Let's talk a little bit about how we encourage independence.
Yeah, so I think the environment provides, and it's the adult's role to model and support and scaffold learning. So a really good example about that is having scissors out in the environment, but supporting children how to use them safely, but also differentiating that for some children who might take longer to be confident in using them, and having spring-loaded scissors or double-handed scissors, and giving children lots of opportunity to kind of use them on different materials.
I think that differentiation is a really interesting thought actually, especially if we're thinking about differentiated early years outcomes for children with special educational needs and disabilities, that really gives us an opportunity to look at those really tiny steps of learning and development and be able to celebrate and achieve those.
Fine motor skills are a part of whole body physicality and depend upon well-developed gross motor skills, core strength and coordination. Having good fine motor control empowers the child, promotes confidence and independence.
All play is a purposeful task for children. The environment we create, full of tape, glue, scissors, provides them with a rich opportunity to develop fine motor skills.
Loving, trustful relationships between adults and children allow for independence to grow naturally within the play environment.